Jonathan Majors has just been found guilty of assault in the third degree and guilty of harassment against his ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabbari. Now, this will make Twitter mad because they all believe that Jonathan Majors was not guilty, but a New York jury has found Jonathan Majors guilty. And already they're calling New York City and this jury racist because they don't believe that Jonathan Majors was guilty of assault. But a lot of it came down to the text messages that show Majors dissuading Jabbari from going to the hospital following a separate alleged altercation in 2022. But what do you guys think? Was Jonathan Majors, the actor formerly known as Kang the Conqueror for Disney's Marvel Universe, was he entrapping his ex-girlfriend in a prison of fear and a prison of abuse? Or is it like X is saying, the New York jury is racist? What do you guys think about this situation?
Oops, guys, looks like there is a breaking news that apparently has coming from the camp of Jonathan Majors. Now, Jonathan Majors has been found guilty of assault harassment. The verdict was reached on Monday by 6 jury after 4 hours of deliberation spread across 3 days. The actor is set to be sentenced on February 6th. A New York jury apparently found Marvel actor Jonathan Majors guilty of reckless assault in the third degree and guilty of harassment. The verdict was reached by a 6-person jury after roughly 4 hours of deliberation spread across 3 days. Jonathan Majors, wearing a grey suit and a black dress shirt and tie, sat with his attorney, with family members and his girlfriend Megan Good behind him as the verdict was read. Sentencing is set for February 6th. The charges carry a sentence up to 1 year in prison. Now, he was found not guilty of international assault in the third degree and not guilty of aggravated harassment in the second degree. However, Majors faced 4 charges of assault, aggravated harassment, and harassment after he called 911 on March 25, when he said he found his ex-partner Grace Jabbari unconscious in their apartment. Now, police arrested Majors after finding apparent injuries on Jabbari, including a laceration behind her ear and bruised and fractured finger. Majors pleaded not guilty to all charges. However, Jabbari, who took the witness stand for the first 4 days of trial, said Majors had caused the injuries during an altercation in the car several hours before. Now, she testified that the alleged incident occurred in a private car when she saw a text on Majors' phone that read, "Oh, how I wish to be kissing you." Jabbari has said she tried to snatch the phone from Majors, who then pried her finger from the phone, grabbed her arm and right hand, twisted her forearm and stuck her head into the phone, and of course got away from her. The first 3 charges are misdemeanor offenses and related to alleged incidents in the car. The further charge of harassment, which is a violation, the most minor offense among the charge, relates to an allegation that Majors threw Jabbari back into the car as she tried to exit. Now, the defense alleged that he placed her back in the car to stop her from running into traffic. Now, that action is captured on surveillance video, while the altercation inside the car was not captured on camera. Meanwhile, the charges against Majors were brought by the state of New York rather than by Jabbari herself. Now, the case was a criminal trial rather than a civil, meaning that the burden of proof was higher for the jury, who had to find proof of guilt beyond any reasonable doubt on each charge. Now, the arrest has already had implications on what had been the biggest year in Majors' career, which of course saw the star losing major deals and of course roles in the media. Now, in the wake of this arrest, both his publicity firm and Lady Company and of course managers at Management 360 dropped him, and the Disney-owned Searchlight Features also removed Magazine Dreams from its releases calendar. Now, in a statement after the verdict, Rose Karma, an attorney of Jabbari, said that they were gratified by the guilty verdict and hoped it would inspire other victims of assault. Now, we are gratified to see justice served by today's guilty verdict, the statement read. Now, Ms. Jabbari also testified publicly and truthfully, even though revealing this traumatic event on the witness stand was obviously painful, we are also grateful the Jonas and the judge for their attention and patience to the Manhattan District Attorney Office for their hard work and support. Ms. Jabri resolves to see the case through to the end, demonstrate her tremendous strength and resilience. Unfortunately, for every survivor like Ms. Jabri who comes forward to hold your abuser accountable, there are many others who believe that they cannot. Meanwhile, we hope that her actions will inspire others, as other survivors, to speak their truth and seek justice. This was a statement which was released by Kramer, who happens to be the lawyer of Grace Jabri. Now, during the trial, prosecutors approached this as a case of domestic violence, while the defendants repeatedly called Jabri's credibility into question and positioned it as an ex-revenge. Now, Majors appeared in the person every day of 2 weeks trial were good, and family members in attendance. Now, he did not testify during the trial and showed little emotions except for tearing up during closing argument from his attorney Priya Chaudhary, as she apparently said that his fear of what happens when a black man in America calls 911 came true. Now, as part of the defense, Chaudhary claimed that Jabri was an aggressor in the car, pointing to the fact that Major's coat was ripped and the fact that Jabri is seen on surveillance video running after Majors down the street after the initial alleged altercation in the car. Jabri said that she ran after him to find out who sent the text. Meanwhile, Chaudhary further argued Jabri was uninjured after leaving the car and had gone revenge partying at the club where she brought champagne on Major's credit card while still being able to use her right hand, which she said had been injured. Now, Jabri testified that she had sought help from 3 strangers on the street after the first altercation in the car, and they then invited her to a club which she accepted in order to seek comfort after the alleged incident. Now, Chaudhary implied that Jabri had injured herself later after drinking throughout the evening and then returning to their shared apartment and taking sleeping pills. Now, Majors, who had stayed at the hotel after leaving the car, returned to the apartment in the morning and called 911 after reporting that he found Jabri unconscious. Now, in addition to the video surveillance footage, she also included footages of Jabri at the club, evidence shown to the jury by prosecutors, including photos Jabri took up for the bruised hand and laceration behind her ear while back at the apartment, and body camera footage from officers when they apparently arrived. Now, this is very sad, and I don't know, guys, it's serious because prosecutors also introduced a series of tests into evidence which could prove damaging of Majors' reputation, as they brought out about several alleged incidents that happened during the course of between Majors and Jabri's relationship. Now, they alleged that the pattern of abuse, which they said explained why Jabri had not immediately told police officers that Majors had caused the injuries. Now, in one of the tests sent between Majors and Jabri in September 2022, Majors appeared to this assault Jabri from seeking medical attention for any injury. Now, how she apparently sustained the injury was not discussed. However, they will ask you questions, and as I don't, you actually project or protect us, it could lead to an investigation even if you do lie, the suspect apparently told Majors in a written statement. Now, these tests were initially deemed inadmissible, but then it was also very proven to prosecutors to the jury members following a line of cross-examination questions from Majors' defense team, and of course that of Judge Michael Gaffey, who apparently said now prosecutors also played a recording Jabri said she made of Majors during an earlier argument in September 2022, in which the actor admonished Jabri of drinking and then returning to their home with her friend, and she needed to live up to the standard of Karrueche Scott King and Michelle Obama. And I am the great man, guys. Like, this is really freaking out. Now, I have really been monitoring this conversation. I've been asking myself, what will be the fate of Jonathan Majors? And it looks like, damn it, like, finally, justice has been served. Oops, Megan Good, I told you that you wouldn't listen. Like, I told you, girl, you will ration into this. Like, I literally said it countless occasions that Megan Good will be betrayed or will feel bad after prosecutors or the investigation had apparently been seized. Now, what really is going to be the fate of Megan Good and Jonathan Majors? Are they going to break up? Are they still going to continue? And of course, bear in mind that Majors is going to be sentenced into, at least a maximum of 10 good years in prison. Like, dude's career has been shattered. Like, we're not going to hear about Jonathan Majors again. Like, this is the end of Jonathan Majors' career. And oops, let me just say this. Megan Good, I'm sorry, but this is very sad news for you all, guys. Let's know what you think about it also.